All right. Episode 2 in the Deep Health series. We're talking about emotional health today. We are learning to feel without being ruled. And so I guess the overall object is something, right? Obviously, it impacts every part of our life, often gets misunderstood. Most people are either suppressing what they feel
Yeah.
or they're kind of completely led by it.
Yeah.
So they take a lot of their decisions that they make about their life from how they feel. And
Yes.
whilst they think that's safe, it kind of takes them to a different place. So that's kind of the overall idea of the episode today. It's the second part in our 6-part series. I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm going to be coughing. I am ill.
Yeah.
And anything you want to add to that?
I can't hear out of my left ear, so
So, so
health is present here.
health
Health is
is
present in our
absolutely getting
lives.
taken to shreds at the moment for the both of us. And for two things, I think for me it's burnout,
Yeah, we've got two
and
kids under 3
for
and
you,
no village.
I
Like,
think it's postpartum. Is it? Is
yeah,
the
postpartum. I'm 4 months postpartum, so all those hormones that keep you going for the first 4 months go bye.
so you can't hear now?
Yeah, I can't hear out of my left ear, and my hair's falling out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay.
All right, so we're gonna get into emotional health, obviously. What was it like growing up?
Mm.
Like, how were emotions dealt with in your house, and what was it like experiencing emotions as a kid from what you can remember?
That's such a wild question because I don't think I've ever thought about it before. So I can't recall how emotions were actually dealt with. I think it was only actions that were dealt with, if that makes sense. So, like, if I had
Mm-hmm.
emotional outbursts of, say, shouting from anger or not listening or things like that, they were corrected. But I don't recall any emotions about any emotions. I don't recall any conversations about emotional regulation, not letting your emotions like run the show. It was very much like get on with it
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
thing of just like and I never learned how to deal with my emotions. Like it makes me think about how I've been teaching Theo how to breathe since he was tiny. Like he used to have that toy that spun around. I used to get him to
Yeah.
blow it to teach him how to breathe, to regulate, and it's come in handy. But like I don't remember anything like that for me. I can't remember any conversations about emotions, which is wild now I think about it. Like I can see how much they've run my life because they've gone unchecked. Because I've never talked about it until I became like a yoga teacher and did my acupuncture degree and went out into life and
Mm.
learnt from other places. But I don't think I've ever had that conversation in my house. What about you?
It's interesting. So you would say that you sat on the completely led by it bandwagon. Were you there? Were you in that camp?
I'd say I was completely led by emotions until I went through a bunch of trauma. And then I'd say because my heart was very open, and then by the time I was like 18, 19, I was like, I'm not doing emotions. Like I
Mm.
remember I used to like Google like how do you turn your emotions off? Like I wanted to like numb. I wanted to like not have anything because I was like, this is getting in my way, and I didn't know how to deal with them. So I was like, no,
It's so
I'm
wild to
just
me.
turning them
That's
off.
so wild to me that you would Google
I
how
Googled.
can I numb myself?
I literally like
Because
it's so embarrassing. Have you seen the Vampire Diaries?
no, because remember how you said you started that sentence off with how embarrassing this this is embarrassing.
Well,
No, I haven't
on
seen
the
the
Vampire
Vampire Diaries.
on the Vampire Diaries, they can do this thing where they flick a switch and their humanity turns off, and so
Wow,
all emotion goes,
wow.
and they're just animalistic vampires.
Sounds a little bit like the Elite.
Yes. And so I was like, that's what I want. I remember seeing
Mm.
it and being like, I want that switch. Like, is that real? Can I do that? And I remember Googling it and being like, can I just switch this off? Because I don't know what to do with it.
I'm just gonna refrain from passing judgment on you
Good
right now.
job.
Yeah,
Good job, Danny.
obviously, obviously, I passed it by telling you, but
Yes, I
here we are.
felt it.
There you
I felt
go.
it.
uh, yeah, what was it like for me? I think one boy, two.
Yeah.
I had so similar thing, and I think it's actually just a product of our parents being parents at the time that they're parents.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any. They didn't have
Guidance.
they didn't have internet. They didn't
Mm.
have any of the resources that like we have. Um, and obviously their parents would have definitely never have helped them learn to express emotions because their parents were war children. So like you got to
Yeah.
think there was a time and place. If you really go back,
Mm.
like our parents
Yeah.
wouldn't have had time for their children's emotions because guess what? There was a war going on.
Mm.
So like that then gets passed down. And
Yeah.
so we're actually in just a place of recovering through generations anyway, I think.
Mm.
But they didn't have internet, they didn't have all of that. So I don't think it's a surprise that I do believe that I think most people sit in either side of the camp. So you either your emotions lead your life
Mm.
because your parents never really taught you how to process them,
Yeah.
or you suppress it because your parents couldn't deal with it and they just said, no,
Yeah.
we've got to move on. They
Yeah.
didn't like the action that you took because of an emotion, so they, like you said, they corrected the action. So for me,
Yeah.
it was very much suppress.
Mm.
It was kind of like, hey, you've felt your feelings, now you can't.
Yeah.
Now it's getting in the way of life. Now it's getting
Mm.
in the way of moving forwards, and that's what's more important. It's more important that, um, for example, like my mum was very much more like she was a single mum, and she kept on choosing abusive relationships.
Yeah.
So her emotional turmoil was
Mm.
so high,
Yeah.
there was no space for us to even have an emotional day. So our needs were suppressed,
Mm.
and that then allows things to like
Yeah.
spiral into.
I also
That's
think,
how like I think abuse spirals
yeah.
is like, well, your kids have already started to like not speak, not
Mm.
show emotions, shy away, and kind
Yeah.
of go inwards, and then that just kind of like develops.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always suppressed, and it was great because that little thing you wanted of can I just numb myself so I can get on with life? That's what I managed to do until you
Yeah,
can't,
until it comes out.
because there's so and this is why I'm really excited. I'm excited to do this episode today because I've learned so much about emotions over the last kind of like 2 or 3 years. Like I've
Yeah.
noticed how suppressed emotion actually comes back and bites you in the arse a couple of
Mm.
years later.
Yeah.
It can store it. Well, it does. It stores in your body.
Body.
It represents itself as pain. It represents itself as dysfunction, dis-ease.
Mm.
And so there's a bunch of stuff that suppressed emotions can really harm. It can harm your health. Over the long term. So I'm excited to kind of jump into that.
I also think it's important to say that like your dad died when you were very young.
Mm.
And so like your emotional range started with like grief.
Yeah.
Like that's not the order of events that's like, I don't know, normal for kids. I
Mm-hmm.
think your experience as well was very much how it was your experience because you had such a big hard emotion at a young age
It's
that everything else kind of pales in comparison.
it's funny. For me and my sister had this conversation. So
Mm.
for her, our dad dying was the worst thing.
Yeah.
For me, that was the start.
Yes.
So like we had a different childhood
Mm.
growing up, and which we've only just gotten to a point. I'm 32.
Mm.
Like I only just told her about the abuse that I went through. What, this year? Last
Yeah.
year? This year?
This year.
I feel like it was this year.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, what was kind of like the worst thing for her, and the all right, well, nothing else is as bad as that,
Yeah.
was the opposite for me.
It was like the start.
Dad dying was like, yeah, that was just like, if that hadn't happened, my old brain used to be like, none of these other bad things would have happened.
Mm.
But that's not how my child brain worked. My child brain went, my dad died, and then everything got worse until I was 20 and moved to Kuwait.
It was interesting you
But
said your
suppressed emotion,
yeah.
like that's how I kind of survived, and that my body needed to do that in order to survive. So again, it's like
Mm.
it's a built-in mechanism that works really well for you.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been through trauma kind of knows that looping sequence, and so your reality just becomes something. It becomes something that you don't necessarily feel, so
Mm.
that you can survive. And then when you're physically and emotionally mature enough to be able to handle it, and the physicality of it is, we kind of talked about this, I think, on our healing episode when we talked about acupuncture that we did.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
once you get to a point where you can like physically and emotionally, mentally process it, everything you did suppress will come out.
Mm.
And that's kind of like, yeah, it was different. It was different for me and my sister. We had very different experiences growing up.
Same with like me and my brother. Like
Mm.
I think you can live in the same house and have
Yeah, you can.
wildly different childhoods.
Mm. All right. Understanding emotional health, right? What does it actually mean to be emotionally healthy? Um, I'm actually going to start this one in the sense that, like, coming from an unhealthy emotional background to now
Mm.
being in a healthily emotional house,
Yeah.
emotionally healthy house.
Yeah.
Um, I'm starting to think that, like, there's two words that really pop into my mind. Maybe no, maybe there's one word that pops into my mind with an emotionally healthy household. One, I think emotions run freely in an emotionally healthy household.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
they run freely.
Yeah, I agree.
That is scary as shit, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially if you had to kind of suppress it as a kid, and so you're learning that
Yeah.
this on the fly. So any like mums and dads out there who are like really finding their kids' emotions challenging to navigate because
Yeah.
it elicits so much of a response in you, totally get you.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely here for it.
And it brings up
The
your trauma.
It brings up your trauma, they trigger all of the right things.
Yeah.
And if you see it this way, there's a lot of healing for you, and there's a
Mm.
great amount of learning and lessons for the kids so that they
Yeah.
don't ever have to go through what you went through.
Yeah.
Even if in the short term, they see mum and dad as angry people or whatever it is, or like
Mm.
scared or
Yeah.
whatever it is, they see you. And I think that's what it actually creates the health,
Yeah.
is that you can't be somebody that is just like, well, I won't feel that.
Yeah.
No,
You
I,
have
I
to
don't do
feel
feel.
it.
It's like, yeah, you got to show feelings. And when you're in a position, like when your kid's just having an absolute meltdown and you have no other, like you feel the physical response in your body,
Yeah.
it's like nothing else.
Yeah.
But I think what I've noticed, and this is the word that comes up to me, is the like, and this is what I think a lot of families are missing. It's the word repair.
Yeah.
That is the one word that I think makes an emotionally healthy household and family.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care what's happened. If there's no repair
Mm.
immediately after,
Yeah.
that's when it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because, like, navigating emotions is a uniquely human experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
off the walls. Like, joy is off the walls. Like, too much joy,
Yeah.
you can wet your pants.
Yeah.
Right?
And like you see it in kids, like their emotions are so big.
Huge
Like
emotions.
everything is
Yeah.
big that you're just like, I never knew emotions had such like a scale. It's
Yeah.
so crazy.
Same.
Like, and because you can see it in them, and like when they're tired, everything's bigger. Like if they're
Mm,
tired and they're sad, that's bigger. Like
yeah.
everything
That
is
one took
bigger.
me so long, especially with Theo,
Yeah.
because like just because obviously if you didn't know, he's not my biological child.
Yes.
So it's like facial cues. I don't recognize some of his
Yeah.
facial cues. So understanding how he was when he was tired
Mm.
with all the other normal emotions, like just took me so much longer to kind of like grasp. Whereas now I feel like he'll do something completely out of character, and I'll be like, "Huh," and then I'll look at you and be like, "Is he tired?"
Yeah. And I'm like,
And you're like,
yes,
"Yeah, he's tired."
this is
And
tired.
then he falls over and
He
cakes it,
hates
and I'm like,
it.
"Oh, he's definitely tired because he's
Yeah.
stumbling."
Like his mum.
Like his mum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what does it mean to be emotionally healthy to you then? Like that's kind of what it is for me. I think repair
Yeah.
and like freely flowing emotion,
Mm.
like emotions just flowing freely.
Yeah.
I think they're the two kind of key characteristics for me
Yeah.
in terms of like, well, what makes a healthy household. I think the word repair
Mm.
and yeah, free flowing.
Yeah, I like that because like within repair, like accountability and like just apologizing is really important. So I agree with that. Um, and I also think I don't know, it's hard because there's so many things that you want for like a healthy emotional household. I definitely would agree with you of just like emotions running freely and like things happening as they should. And I also think being able to name emotions either after something's happened or
Mm,
maybe a bit further along, depending on how they're coping, is really helpful. Because like if you'll say to me like you said to me before, like you're operating in fear,
mm.
and then I knew it as soon as you said it, and I was like, that's right.
Sorry.
But when I was in it,
Sorry, look at the sound wave on my cough. I apologize for everyone's ears right now.
no, I get so offended when you cough. It makes me really smile. Um,
Did you say you get offended when I cough?
Noah gets offended when you
Yeah, no,
cough.
Noah. I startle Noah when I
Yeah,
cough.
he's like,
Yeah,
no.
he's like, oh.
Um, what was I saying? Yeah, like naming emotions afterwards so that you understand what they do to you is really important. I
Yeah.
think because I came from a household that didn't talk about emotions, I never knew what I was feeling. Like, I thought it was anger, but actually it was coming from something else. And like, it's really
Mm.
hard to pinpoint what's actually going on.
I'm gonna say that's something that I've noticed that I'm developing
Mm.
with the role that I have in the household,
Yeah.
and as I'm emotionally maturing myself,
Yeah.
I'm a like I did it with Theo the other day. I was like, "Hey, like, are you feeling this?"
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
and he well, it stopped him. He was in like I think he was crying or something, and
Yeah.
he's like stopped and looked at me. And he was like, and it changed everything. Like I think he was quite angry, and then
Yeah.
I asked him that question, and then he changed to like sad,
Sad.
and I want a hug, and that was
Yes.
it. As soon as like I'd asked him that, and the barrier came down,
Yeah.
I was like, oh bro, like come on, let's have a hug,
Yeah.
and then from there, gosh,
Oh my gosh.
that's sorry, our next door neighbors are just
I
don't
think the
know,
kids are playing.
some, and yeah, like he just immediately like calmed, warmed, the
Yeah.
emotions moved. Like he, like I said, he went from like the stages of anger into
Yeah.
sadness into repair,
Mm.
and then he was absolutely fine, and we had a really
Yeah.
lovely time. And I think I swung him about a little bit,
Yeah.
and that always seems to make him laugh as well.
It's nice seeing them go through emotions like
Mm,
so quickly because they can because they're
yeah.
kids, whereas it takes us so much longer.
But that's what I was saying. I think that's getting better for me. Like no,
Mm.
like saying to you, like it's funny in the past if you would so should we tell a little story?
Go on.
All right, I'm gonna tell a story. I'm gonna throw Beth under the bus a little bit here.
That's okay.
Um, so Beth turned up. I was on a walk with Noah this morning. Beth turned up in the car with you because she had a social appointment to get to,
Mum
and
club.
mum club, and she was seething with me basically because my phone had 9 missed calls on it. It'd been in my pocket on silent, and I was just enjoying the sun, having a lovely morning. Been to get some bread
From the local bakery.
from the local bakery because health, and yeah, I was just having a lovely morning walk with my son, and yeah, my wife turns up in the car, and you did not leave anything to the imagination. You just went right, emotions flying everywhere. You did this wrong. I can't get in touch with you. You're a horrible bad person.
Didn't
All
say
these
that.
things, you know.
Didn't say that.
and and this is the skill that I think is really developing with me because I think in the past, not like as in with previous relationships where I
Yeah.
was emotionally more immature,
Yeah.
my initial reaction would have probably have been to kind of like either get
Fight back.
defensive or fight back and
Yeah.
just be like, excuse you, like absolutely not. You're the problem. You're like that would have been probably a previous version of me. Whereas I kind of, especially knowing what you've been through the last few days, like with your family and stuff, I
Yeah.
was able to just kind of be like, hey Beth, like I totally understand your feelings right now,
Yeah.
but just so we're aware, what you're feeling is fear, and you're choosing to behave
Mm.
from that place of fear.
Yeah.
And the reason I said it was, I was like, I absolutely want to have this conversation with you, and I want to hear you. I want you to. You're absolutely right in some of the things that
Yeah.
you're talking about, but as long as you continue to talk to me from this place of fear,
Yeah.
this isn't going to be a nice conversation for either of us.
Yeah.
So can we just first kind of like deal with that, and then we'll talk? And like you immediately just like softened,
Yeah.
like because you were open to the fact that
Yeah.
that's what was happening, and then we had a really good conversation about it, and we were fine.
Yeah.
But it was like that's the kind of thing I think maybe more of the masculine skill.
100%.
But I understand in relationships where there's no polarity,
Yeah.
it's gonna be seem like an attack from your other
Yeah.
half. But it's not. It's saying that I want to hear your story. I
Yeah.
just don't want to hear it emotionally charged
Yeah.
because you're gonna say things you're gonna regret, and I don't want you to do that for the benefit of our relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're the head, I'm the heart. Like
Yeah.
I'm emotion, I'm like heart led,
And it's us
and you did
against
your brain.
yeah, it's us against the problem. It's
Yeah.
not you against me, and
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to restore before we ended up having the conversation. It was
Yeah.
like, how can we just make sure that we're on the same page
Yeah.
before we go and say you did this, you did that? Because the ultimate reality was that hey, my phone was in my pocket, it was on silent. I can't change that.
Yeah.
So like I understand now the importance and the need to have it completely on loud for you to not get into fear.
Yeah.
I absolutely understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
At the same time, like, we can't change it. So let's just try and get
Yeah.
you away from a place of fear and into a place of safety and knowing that everyone's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm okay, you're okay. I love you, you love me. I love our
Mm.
kids, you love our kids. We're all good. God loves our kids. Like, we are safe. Like, we cool. And you were like, yeah.
Yeah. It was
Go on.
funny.
What was your like? What was your experience from that today?
As in, like, what led to the big
Well, like, I just gave you my
emotions?
perspective on on what happened. So, like,
It's,
what was
I
your
think the
perspective
reason,
in real time?
it's
Like,
because,
how did you process like everything I just said
mm,
from my perspective? Like, what was yours?
well, it's because it like built really quickly. So it started off as me being like, I need to leave soon. I don't know when Mike's gonna get back. And so I'm gonna phone him so I can meet him, and it just started as that.
Mm.
And then I kept phoning, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's not picked up. He's like dead, or like they've fallen into the marine
So I
lake,
just
or
actually I'm gonna
like,
pause you there. So the first thing Beth said to me when she got out of the car after saying like, "Where were you?" and she was like, "I haven't jumped to conclusions," and then you were literally like, "I went from I couldn't get in touch with you to I think you're dead."
yeah, yeah." And so like that like obviously panicked me, and I was in panic, and so it all then built up from then because I was like, well, I need to leave soon. So then I got me and Theo ready. So then we walked up and down the road because I was like trying to guess which way you were walking,
Yeah.
and so then I started crying
Oh,
because
I
I was
didn't
like,
know that.
I don't know where they are or what they're doing, and I just like got myself more and more worked up. And then I switched to like annoyance. I was like, oh well, he's clearly gone for an extra walk and not
Yeah.
told me.
What a
What
prick.
a dick. And it just like it just like all built up. And so by the time I found you and I just exploded at you, I kind of felt better anyway from just
The
like
release.
having the release.
Because freely like, yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
like
That kind of points to it. It's like, yeah, when
yeah,
you're with a partner where
you
you
need to
know,
express it.
like, I know that I'm like, you're always like worried when you've like emotionally exploded at me, and I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. Like, I know, I know you.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna hold any like judgment at you. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I know that underneath all of that like fire is like a lesson for me of like, no, you
Mm.
need to listen to your wife here. Like, she is trying to tell you what she needs to feel safe.
Yeah.
It's just coming out at like 1,000 miles per hour and a furnace.
Yes. Yes.
A
Yes.
loving, heartwarming
Yes.
furnace. That's what it is.
But then, like you always talk me around in such a great way because, as you said, you're always like I value what you're saying. Like I value your emotions. I
Mm.
just we need to have the conversation in a better place, and like it's always going to soften me, even if I don't want it to, because I'm like it makes sense. Like I
I
can't argue that. I'm like, oh, yeah,
I
you're
love
right.
it when you're really emotionally charged, and then I talk to you a little bit, and your face just changes, and you give me this look, and it's such a like, oh, he's right, but he's a dick. It's such that look, and as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, I'm off the hook.
Yeah,
There we
you're like,
go.
"Ah, I did it.
There
I
we
did
go.
it. We're
Like,
all
now we
good."
can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Now we can actually chat,
It's funny
and
because
it's
like
always
and because
good.
I can see it when I do it to you as well. Like if you're really
Oh yeah,
pissed off about something or like you're
yeah.
really like in your emotions, and I'm like, well, can we just like think about it from this perspective or like whatever it is, and I'll see you be like, ah,
You said
shag.
something to me.
I know, I was thinking about that.
Was
I
it
can't
this
remember what it
morning? I think it was
was.
this morning or last night, and you went, "Hmm, are you thinking too much with the flesh?" And
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
that was this
I was
morning.
like, fair pet, like fair play. All
Yeah.
right, yep, right, you are. And I just cracked on. I was like, I'm not getting into that, but good job. I was
I
like,
got
you called it
inspired.
right away.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know, and it was like it's. I'm so loving the work you're doing individually to what I'm doing right now. So like,
Yeah.
Beth and I are both in mentorships with, I guess, like other faith led professionals.
Yeah.
But when we talk, like, again, guys, when we talk about like being faith led, like, we are not following a religion.
Yeah, we're not like Catholic
We
or
have individual relationships with God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit as individuals.
mm,
It's kind of how Beth and I kind of, I guess, like, it's one of the topics that we used to talk about a lot together when we first started dating.
yeah.
And it's just grown. Like, this is why we have this podcast, Union. Like, we want to talk about the union
Mhm.
between us that has been created by God,
Yeah.
and we want to let you into that. But yeah, what I'm really loving is all the stuff you're doing with yours.
Oh,
It
yeah.
always produces fruit for me in my life.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if the stuff is producing fruit for you in in our life yet from the stuff I'm doing,
Yeah.
but it
When you
like
tell me about it.
it's helping me navigate what's like my journey from the last like 2 or 3 years, because I did
Yeah.
this God walk for like 2 years by myself,
Yeah.
and like that, if you've got no one else around you to help you navigate and understand certain things
Yeah.
that he's telling you and
Yeah.
doing in your life, like you can think you're going crazy. It's
I've said to you
so
multiple
wild.
times, like,
Yeah.
I think I'm losing my
Yeah.
mind. And you're like,
And it's
no.
like you technically are,
Yes.
but you're gaining a new one.
Yes.
So that's the fun of it. But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know what we were supposed to be talking about,
Yeah, me
but
neither.
that was our fun morning, and I'm so glad that we got to say. But like it even shows though, like yeah, like Beth and I, we let our emotions run freely
Yeah.
because we just were, I don't know, we're authentic with each other. Like we
And like we've seen, like when we first got together, like they would fester a bit
yeah
more. We wouldn't call them out because we were scared of like upsetting each other and stuff.
yeah
And we saw the damage of leaving them to fester.
yeah.
Like we'd go a whole day and like we'd not really spoken much, or
No, we
like
didn't manage that.
that
No,
happened once.
we
That
managed
happened
about
once.
5 hours,
Yeah.
and you text me in the afternoon because this was before we were together. We were dating.
No, we were dating
Were we
him.
dating?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like dating, and I
Ish,
think
yeah.
I just moved to Liverpool,
Yeah.
so we were trying to figure out, are we gonna
Yes.
date or are we gonna
Was that
like?
when I broke up with you?
So you basically broke up with me
Yeah.
for like 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then and that was the day we realized. That was the day
Yeah.
I was like, nah, like I'm dating
We're
this
locked
girl,
in. Yeah.
and I'm gonna figure out like how Theo sits in that and what we can do there, and like
Mm.
how, because like I was. And I think this has been the fruit, hopefully, of this week, because we've had a real tough week
Yeah,
this
it's been a
week.
hard week.
Um, and maybe we'll get into that on another podcast, another show.
Yes, we
But
will.
like, I think definitely, like one of the obviously the resistance I had when we started dating was that like I didn't know if I could be like a great father to Theo,
Yeah.
and that was always the thing that was in my back of my mind. It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to date you because you've got a son.
Yeah.
It was never, I don't want to date you because you've got a son.
Yeah.
Like I lost my dad when I was 4.
Mm.
I was like, all I see when I see Theo is like, oh, he doesn't have a dad.
Yeah.
Now he does,
Yeah.
because I'm like, what, 2 years in or a year and a half in, and like I'm
Yeah.
absolutely loving it. It's wild ride,
Yeah.
but like, hey,
Toddlers are
stepdads out
wild.
there, like salute.
Yeah.
It's a tough gig, and it's rewarding, and
Mm.
oh, like the dude's ace. Anyway, where was I going with this?
The day we broke up.
That was
And so
it.
it's
So
like when
before
we
all of
had like
this,
things festered and we weren't
yeah.
discussing our feelings.
Mike wasn't telling Beth about the resistance that he had because he didn't want to upset her and make her
Mm.
think that it was because she had a son, when in reality it was because I didn't want to fail as a dad, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and once I actually brought that to you, you were so funny. I remember thinking how ridiculous I was, because your face dropped and you just went. I was just like, I just don't think I'll be a good dad to him. So like, I just, that's why. And you were like, you just recounted all of the interactions that I'd had with him to that point.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, like I don't know, there's loads of things.
Yeah, you looked after him
I just
loads,
did
and
for it. I just
yeah,
like
you
I
just
played
like
with him. I would
yeah.
like make sure that he wouldn't choke on blueberries or whatever's going
Yeah.
on, and
You
just
hung
like
out you
yeah,
hung out with us,
we hung
like
out, and I
yeah.
just don't know. It was just sweet, like, and he always wanted to interact with me.
Yeah, I
Like
loved
he
you.
always wanted to do stuff and show me things and
Yeah.
stuff, and I was just like, yeah. So, yeah, you just showed me that I was like being ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, fair. So that was
Mm.
it. And then a couple months later, we got pregnant anyway. It didn't
Yeah,
matter.
here we are. But yeah, I definitely noticed that from the both of us that the more it festered, the less we spoke about it, it caused damage.
Yeah.
And you came from a previous relationship where silent treatment was used.
Yeah, and that was something again that started in childhood and it just carried over into adulthood. You know,
So
you
like I
look
remember
for the relationships that you had as a child.
yeah, it's safe.
You look for the same things.
Yeah.
Subconscious just does a number on you,
And
and your
so
brain loops.
yeah. And so I had been doing a lot of work before I met Mike with arguing because I was fiery. I would say stuff I regretted and I never thought first and I just was very quick, just like
What was?
excuse you. And I remember we had a disagreement and I took a few like a couple of minutes. I don't know how long
Oh,
it
this is
was,
funny.
but
I
like,
like talking about this song.
yeah.
This is funny.
But I like stopped and I just thought, and I was like, I was trying to think of how you were feeling, how to communicate in a loving way,
Mm.
because I just wanted what was best for both of us, and I wanted us to continue having a good day. I didn't want it to get in the way. So I stopped and I thought really clearly about everything I could say next so that it was good for us. And you lost your
In
mind.
in that gap of silence, my mind was just going, here we go again. I've
Yeah.
got another silent treatment on my hands. Time to leave.
Yeah, he was like,
Like,
I'm just gonna leave then. I'm just
no, I
gonna
didn't
go.
say that.
You did.
I didn't say it
You
like
were
that.
like, I'm just gonna
I
go.
was like, I think you clearly need some time. I'm just gonna go. You're clearly in your thoughts. All right, goodbye.
And I was like, no. I was like, excuse you. I was like, I'm taking time
You're
to
like,
think
I'm
and
having a
give you a
think.
good response. So just wait. And you were like, okay.
I sat down. I sat my ass down
Yeah.
and was like, oh, like, but and this was the great thing is because we started, unbeknownst to us at the time, we were healing relationship wounds from
For
each
each
other
other, yeah.
before we were really, like in a relationship,
Yeah.
like deep into it. And I think that's actually what softened us up
Hmm.
to get to a point where I was like, okay,
We feel
I think we
safe.
can do this because I see that you're safe for me, and I know I'm safe for you. So it was like, yeah, like we could do this. This is all right,
And you could see that we were both doing the
doing
work.
the
Like we
work.
were fixing things as we went.
Yeah,
And so we were both like, even if we know that we're not perfect and the other person isn't perfect, like we know that we're both going to navigate this in a way that we're both
yeah,
healing as we go
yeah,
to fix the things that aren't working. Like you don't get into a relationship and everything's perfect.
yeah,
There's a teething period of learning each other and how you need to communicate and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. What then? What would we look for if somebody was suppressing emotions? What would you see in someone who is suppressing emotions?
I'd say outbursts that aren't controlled.
Mm,
So they bottle it up and they keep it, and then something wild happens, like your belt hook gets stuck on a door handle,
mm,
like something inconvenient, and people lose their shit. Like
right.
they shout, they kick, they get really annoyed, and they're not annoyed
Like
at what's just
like
happened.
that reel of all the dads that we saw,
Yeah, that just
and
lose
they're
their
like
minds.
trying to fix a light bulb, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Fuck," like stuff like that.
It's like it's the irrational anger or outbursts at
Yeah,
such small
yeah,
things that because you can see that it's bleeding from other areas, and I'd say
yeah.
that's a big one that people like they don't understand what they're seeing.
That's
I'm gonna go.
that's our first cue. I'm gonna wait for you. All right, we're back. Um, so yeah, outburst. I think that's a really good one. I'm gonna go with actually some of the physical signs you're gonna see.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna say it. Inflammation,
Yes.
obesity.
Yes.
That is a massive indicator of
Yeah.
somebody who is suppressing emotions,
Yeah.
not processing trauma, trapped, whatever you want to call it. That's take two. Take two. Right, well, for a second episode running, we have our favourite guest, and he's a lot more talkative today. Hey, bud, how are we doing?
Oh, sweaty.
Teething.
Yes.
Hey, bud, get that boob. Get that boob.
Any woman that's ever breastfed knows that, like, when they're like, "Oh, it's every 2 to 3 hours," it's not true.
No, it's not true. I concur. It's every 45 minutes to an hour on the hour if you've got one of these massive 2026 babies. No, he's a 2025 baby, isn't he?
Yeah.
2025 baby. Yeah, they're built different. But yeah, like inflammation, suppressed
Yes.
emotions, inflammation. If you see someone's face that looks swollen, I mean, like this is why some people really struggle. You know, especially if they're using exercise to cope with emotions that they haven't expressed.
Yeah.
Which will that's another indicator as well as like someone who maybe over exercises, someone who can't sit still unless they've gone and moved for the day, or
Yeah.
you know they don't have a good mind unless they've moved,
And their day's ruined.
and their day's ruined if they don't get a
haven't,
workout
yeah.
in, all that sort of stuff. Like that is somebody who is suppressing emotion, and yeah, like I've been that person. Like I was that person in the past, and it's funny when you come out of it, when you go, you know what, I am just gonna like when you find someone who is so authentically aligned to you, so you feel safe enough to just fully express yourself, which we have.
Yeah.
It's like I would never go back.
No, me
Like,
neither.
and but suppressing emotion or being led by it is something that we learn from our parents and we learn from the wounds that we don't heal.
Yeah.
So those are some big indicators for me
Yeah,
for
because I
someone
think
who's suppressing.
I look back at pictures of myself and I've got like a rounder face.
Yep, same. I
And
remember taking a picture of myself with my Dark Night of the Soul, and I just look like I've got the fattest
you
face
isn't
ever.
that your driving license?
No, that was
Or your passport?
like no, that photo was taken about. It was a couple of months after that.
Okay.
I think it was like I was fresh out of a breakup,
Yeah.
and like I'd let my facial hair go, like I just let myself go.
Yeah. Yeah, like
and then
women glow up
and
after
then I had
breakups
to
and
obviously
then
I had to go
like,
Chicago. I had to go to Chicago in like the June,
oh
and
yeah.
I'd broken up in like end of March, April, or something
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, it's a bad passport photo, which I've got until I don't know, like
It's 10
20,
years, isn't it?
20. I want to say it might be out in 2030. I don't know. Um, but yeah, being led by emotion. What do those people look like?
I'd say like people that can't achieve anything or like do anything in their day until they feel good. They're
Yeah,
like, I'll do that when I feel better. I'll do this when I feel better.
yeah,
Like they're so ruled by their emotions that like it's either trapping them and they're doing nothing or they're trying to run from them so they're doing everything.
yeah. I think fatigue. You see people
Yes.
who are led by their emotions. They experience a lot of fatigue in the day. They need a lot
Mm.
of naps. They need a lot of sleep, and they
Mm.
never really you can see them. I think a lot of people mistake them to be seen as like lazy,
Yeah.
and it's like no, they're not lazy. They are overwhelmed by the amount of emotions they're feeling,
And they don't know how to
and they don't know how to suppress it. So it's therefore
or regulate.
dominant. They don't know how to regulate, and they don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so they're
interesting.
the kind of like things that I see.
Yeah. And I'd say people that like you can they don't like think before they speak. It's those people that like just go rap and just like everything comes out and you're like, wow, okay, like that was a lot. Like I think they're very like because their emotions are always on the tip of their tongue.
Well, I'm gonna add contrary to that because that actually leans into more mental health
Okay.
as opposed to emotional health. The
Mm,
reason I'm gonna say that is anyone who isn't spending time in meditation is gonna be quick
yeah.
to speak,
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
and the reason being is actually like it has less to do with emotional capacity, it has more to do with
Mental clarity.
no, um, because like a lot of people who have a lot of mental clarity will speak fast because they have a lot of mental clarity.
Mm,
People who don't have much mental clarity
yeah.
will probably be speaking slowly just simply because they can't recall or because
Yeah.
they got too much stress on or whatever's going on. But like it doesn't really point to emotional
Mm,
regulation. Um, it just touches more on mental health, which we're going to get into another episode. So I don't want to like
yeah.
open that
Don't.
up.
Yeah. Don't go down there.
What was the question again? What were you saying?
Um, people that are very emotional.
You said quick to speak,
Yeah.
right? Like yeah, it's not. I wouldn't agree with that personally, just because I think there's definitely lots of different other situations that just aren't necessarily emotionally tied to
Mm,
whether or not someone speaks
yeah.
quickly. Like what have we learned with parenting? Like speaking quickly gets less out of your kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I need you to do this real quick now. Like,
Yeah.
or they've done something wrong or that you don't like
Mm,
and that you need to correct them. We've noticed actually, if you spend a little bit more time,
mm.
it's like, hey, can we come over here, please? And you take them to a different space, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it creates. They've got time to create more curiosity about what you've got to say,
Yeah.
and then we can ask more questions. Things like that. Like
Mm,
that's kind of. I think that's yeah. It's more mental health
yeah.
than it is like your ability to emotionally regulate.
Mm,
Um, I think it was the idea of someone being emotionally led.
yeah.
I think it points to more excessive emotions.
Okay.
So Okay, you're watching TV.
Mm.
A dog dies in a film. Very sad.
Marley and me.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's the exception. The the exception, because that's a great film and it's really sad. But like, if you've seen it 5 times, like, get over it.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to cry about this one. You're looping something here. You're
Yeah.
enjoying something about the emotion that you're feeling because you continue to express it and feel it over and over again, even though it's the same situation you've seen,
Yeah.
heard, and experienced multiple times.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
Oh, I'm just one of those people that always cries at films. No. No, you're led by your emotions and you're looking for stimulus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're seeking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because watching films, like, we've always got to pull this back to health.
Yeah.
Like, if you're every single night of the week is sticking Netflix on or a film on and you're experiencing your emotions through consuming media,
Yeah.
you're not experiencing, like, you are programming your body to do that.
My mum.
Here we go.
So when I was a kid,
It's gonna come out now.
I always refused to cry. I never cried. Never ever
Uh-huh.
cried. I should cry. I should have cried more. Never cried. Always refused to. So my mum would like monthly put on a horrifically sad film
Just to
to
try and
make me
elicit.
sob,
Mm.
to bring it out of me, because it was like the only way that it would happen.
Yeah.
Like I remember the worst one she did was a film called Beaches, which is horrific. I don't know why anybody likes that film. But it's so sad. And I sobbed, and I sobbed for like 2 days after it because I was so upset. I was also like a teenager. But it's interesting you say that because that was what used to bring out tears because
This
I just wouldn't cry.
It's interesting. I thought earlier you said that you were kind of used to be led by emotion as opposed to suppressing it.
So
Or
I
do you
went
feel like
through
you
I
do a
went
bit
through
both?
stages. I went
Ah,
through
right.
like different stages. I was definitely led by emotions,
I
and then I suppressed.
I hope no one's thinking that if you cry at a film, then you're poor with emotions. That's not what I'm saying.
It's if you're using it constantly.
Yeah, I'm
to
saying, like,
create
if it's an
that.
alter in your life,
Mm.
which you might not know, like, if if watching film, like, and I've definitely been through like parts of this as well, like, if you're choosing overly dramatic or um overly emotional, like very emotional films
Mm.
as a soothing place for the emotions that you're either unable to express or the ones that you are constantly feeling like are ruling your life. If you've always got a bit of a cloud over your head following you around, and so
Yeah.
therefore, you typically watch quite deep films. Like, I've been there. That's definitely
Mm.
something, or you listen to like a very emotionally triggering music and things like that. Like,
Yeah, that's more you than me.
and that's where your emotions can kind of, like, they can run your life. And so you might actually go through phases where you do go through phases of suppression, you go through phases of overly expressing them and letting them lead your life. Either way, whether you sit in either camp, you haven't maybe necessarily got a tool yet.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to try and give by the end of the episode. I think that's the goal anyway. What happens when emotions are left unchecked?
So is this like you've never learned how to like regulate them?
Yeah. So essentially every time, so if we could address it from the two camps. If you're suppressing, well, okay, well, what happens to the emotion?
Yeah.
Because it's got to go somewhere,
Chinese medicine.
right? And then if you're overly led by your emotions, what happens to that person's life if that stays unchecked as well?
Yeah.
Because you can see that, like, if you're just an emotional floodgate all the time with everything, like, you're going to live a wild life.
Yeah.
You're going to live a wild life. Like, there's got to be some kind of balance between those two places, right?
The suppression one's really interesting because in Chinese medicine, every organ has an emotion tied to it. And so, like, grief is lung.
Yeah.
And so that was something that I picked up with you because, obviously your grief from being a child. And then, yeah, like kidneys is like sadness. So, like, if somebody's always really sad, like, it means that there's stuff with kidneys. So you can see how health is so impacted by suppression of emotion, just dependent on what the emotion is. And anger, I'm pretty sure is hot, but it's been a while, so I can't remember.
So I'm really happy I can fill in this gap for us based off all of the stuff I'm learning in my mentorship.
Yay.
there's a lot of research recently done about trapped emotions in the body. So what science is now proving, which is funny because Chinese medicine have always known it,
Yeah.
and the Bible's always known this
Yeah.
as well, but now we've just got science to prove these things, is that essentially emotions are a physical thing.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, emotions aren't just something that the brain does.
Mm.
The brain is like the computer program that interprets.
Yeah.
So what actually happens is when you experience an emotion, there is a physical sensation in the body first, right? So if you experience fear, right, heart
Like
rate elevates,
palpitations.
you get sweaty,
Yeah.
right? That's actually how you know you're in fear,
Mm.
is because of the physical sensations. Then your brain interprets it and says, I think we're afraid right now, or I think we're anxious, or I think we're whatever it is. Like, it's up to you to interpret the emotion that your body is feeling.
Yeah.
So this is why when you suppress it, those physical sensations, they don't just, like, when do they stop? And if they stop, where do they go? Like, it's not, you have to think of it as like, no, this was like a waveform.
Yeah.
A waveform, because we're just energy and frequency, so a waveform just appears in your body.
Yeah.
By something that you've experienced on the outside of yourself, reality, right? Or maybe you're even just doing some thinking and you're having an emotional response to it. Your body will then push that waveform into the weakest part of your body. So this is how generational trauma basically keeps presenting itself throughout the generations of your family. So let's say like your dad has a heart condition and his dad had heart conditions and his dad had heart conditions and it runs in the family, right? When you suppress an emotion, that waveform, that emotion will go to your heart because that's the weakest place in your body based off your genetics. So that's where the emotions get trapped. So my back pain, that my mum had back pain and her mum had back pain, and it just goes on and on and on. Any and all of my suppressed emotions have gone into my back, which is why it hurts so much. How amazing is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense actually, because it's my mum and then my grandma, so my mum's mum. We've all had like endo stuff, but also we've had like digestive, like spleen.
Same, digestive's a big
like,
thing for
so,
us.
like, your digestion's terrible.
Yeah.
But more like when we're stressed, we get loads of pain and like bloating, like in our digestive tract. So that makes sense now, because I feel like the more stressed I get, I either get a migraine or I get like the belly stuff.
Those are your suppressed emotions that your body has gone, well, genetically, this is where our weakest point is. That's where I'm going to put them. That's where disease manifests and then festers. So to go and loop back to your point about anger is typically now linked with cancer.
Yes.
People who are suppressing anger typically develop cancerous diseases. Cancerous tumors, things like that. That's massively linked with the suppression of anger.
Wow.
Or if you want more information about this, read the body code. I think it's the body code.
The body keeps score?
Well, there's the body keeps score, and then there's a code one as well, and it's all about your meridians. So it blends a little bit to the Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
But it shows you like, where in your body you're holding emotions and which emotions they are.
That's cool.
I'll find out what it is and I'll put it in the show notes.
Put it in the show notes.
But yeah, this is why I'm so excited to do this one today, because I've learned so much about it, and we've been having practical experience this week on what to do. So here's the other thing about emotions.
Put the ring light on. Sorry to.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing about emotions is because the mechanism is that our brain has to interpret them. When you're presented later on in life with an emotion that is triggered like a previous part of your life where you experience maybe something similar. So like let's say you're getting triggered by anger, right? Let's say like your toddler's having a meltdown, he's really angry at you.
Yeah.
And your body just responds, right? Like you're like, like why is his anger
triggering me so
like
much?
making my heart go absolutely wild right now? And it's like, because it's just the same waveform that's stored in you from a previous experience.
Wow.
which is helpful, by the way,
So
parents.
helpful.
This is helpful.
Yeah.
This is how you heal.
Yeah.
So now the emotion's up.
Yeah.
It's come out of hiding, and it's there for you to either suppress it
Yeah.
or express it and heal it.
Yeah.
But this is where you have to be more conscious. This is why taking your thoughts, this is what the Bible teaches, take your thoughts captive.
Yeah.
When this emotion comes up, you need to be damn curious about you.
Yeah.
And not act upon whatever's going on in your situation in front of you.
Should I give an example?
Absolutely.
On Friday, we had a big thing happen, and I got very angry, and I wanted to act immediately, which would have been terrible for everybody. And so Mike was amazing and stopped me and was like, "Hey, no, no,
No. Just
we're
straight
we're
no.
gonna stop. We're first gonna take some breaths. We're gonna bring ourselves down a bit, and then you're gonna go for a run because I love running and I miss running, and I did used to use it to escape emotions, but you made a very good point of how I can now just use it with emotions.
So there's two things. So basically, you were triggered with what emotion was it? Let's say anger.
Yeah.
So
Seething.
you were triggered with anger, and you wanted to act immediately.
Yeah.
So what you'd have done is you'd have used the emotional trigger to take an action in your life, which is essentially
I think it's just letting your emotions
either
run
way.
the show.
Like you're letting it.
Yeah.
You're gonna take an action off this emotion.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't do anything with the emotion. The emotion would just eventually go back down.
Yeah.
You would ride your entire decision off of it. You would like all of your words would come from that energy of that emotion. And this is why it gets people into trouble. Is because when you take actions because you're feeling emotional or you're feeling this emotion, you just project that emotion outwardly.
Yes. Yeah.
Through your actions. You don't actually do anything with the waveform that's still in your body. And so once you've calmed down, guess where that emotion goes? Goes straight back. So knowing that, Beth's also like for the last week been like, Mike, I can't wait to get back running. I can't wait to get back running. It's going to be really fun. So then when she's like in this emotionally charged state, I was like, hey, look, I understand how you feel, and you're absolutely right to feel the way you're feeling. This was an external ex-family member of yours that had an issue, basically. And I was like, there's two things that I really need to do here. I need to get Beth into a calmer state so that she can make decisions that are going to be
rational.
Not just rational, but like beneficial to you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to come out even here.
Yeah.
I need you to come out on top and forevermore.
Yeah.
I need whatever situation you're dealing with to be done with one swoop.
Yeah.
Because it's ruining you.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's not going to happen tonight. That's going to happen in 4 or 5 days' time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to come down from that. But also, I need to make sure that that emotion doesn't go straight back into where it's been for the last however many years. Yeah. Hey, Beth, this would be a great time to go for that run that you've been wanting to go for the last week. Use the emotion, move it around your body.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Move it around your body, and it will become less and less and less because it has places to go, and it can be transformed that way. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about with your brain being the interpreting signal here.
Yeah.
Is that like if we go off our previous programming where we feel the emotion and so we act rationally, irrationally, then the waveform hasn't been transformed. It's been repeated.
Yeah.
No healing. This time, waveform comes up and you've chosen to do something different with the emotion, which is a new program. You've created a new timeline, essentially, of where that emotion can be expressed. And now you know, and your brain can now remember that actually, if that emotion comes up again, there's a safety. You have something to rely on now. Your brain can now go, I remember when this happened last time. And I remember that actually, if I did some breath work and if I went for a run, that I'd actually be able to use this emotion as a bit of fuel and a bit of fire to really kind of help me process right now. Yeah. And then later on, I can act more rationally and from a place of love, care, whatever
I dealt
you
with
want to
it
do.
Like 4 or 5 days later, and I was so grateful for the time because I thought clearly I didn't act irrationally out of emotion. Like it was very clear, factual, and it was beneficial for me. to have that time to wait, but
Yeah.
it's so hard when you're in the heat of the moment,
Yep.
which is why I'm so glad we have each other, because we're like, nope, I can see what's happening.
Yeah. And like it's funny because even though in the moment you can't do these things, you've taught me these things.
Yes, yeah.
Like you've actually been the one to teach me a lot of these things,
Mm.
even though it's hard for you to do yourself sometimes, which is that's human.
Yeah,
That's human
normal.
nature. Like we have to be like that. But for anyone listening who's been through trauma in their life,
Mm.
this is how you stop that conveyor belt of like emotions and memories and traumatic experiences from looping in your brain.
Yeah.
Is you have to feel these emotions in waveform first, which means you do have to be triggered kind of the same way that it happened to
Yeah.
you. We've experienced that one as well. And like then you are then presented with an opportunity to change the narrative by how you decide to interpret and process the emotion that will break the loop that your brain is stuck into.
Mm.
It's like the neuroplasticity of the brain.
Yeah.
It's how you change its usual function basically.
Mm.
You change the game on emotions.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one.
But I think this exploration's really made this is what's made emotions really safe for us.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we just haven't been afraid of anything. It's just been like, you know what, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah. And like,
Why? Well, we've got repair
mm-hmm.
if we need to, but
Yeah.
we've also got like trust in
Yeah.
each other and all
Yeah.
these great things.
Yeah, like we truly like our emotions with each other in
Yeah,
times. Like we can be so like grumpy or like sad or angry. Like we really like they're so authentic, and it means we're learning how to navigate them as part of as like being part of a family. It's like
yeah,
being around kids, like having like you can't take yourself away and isolate to deal with them because like you've got two small kids and like I need you,
yeah,
so that's not an option, so we need to find a different way of doing it.
yeah.
Like it's like you have to do
Yeah,
things
my
differently.
previous way of when if I was having like an overly emotional day would be like I just need alone time. I need to be on my own for a bit. I need to
Yeah.
go and do something. I need to go this, that, and the other. And like, yeah, as soon as you got kids, you can't do that.
No.
So and that's the beauty of having children.
Oh yeah, they're
It's
amazing for
like
that.
they force you to, address your shit.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, and it's it's so it's unique,
Yeah.
and I think it's just you can look at having kids as, especially if you're going through it as a parent, like, and I'm not belittling it. There are days where it is really hard.
Yeah.
It is so hard
Mm.
sometimes, but like it is an absolute gift to be able to be triggered by a human being you made
Yeah.
for the sole purpose of making sure that your heart can be completely free of
Mm.
what it has never been free from before,
Yeah.
so that you can become the person that you really want to be
Yeah.
for your kids and for yourself and for humanity, really. Like,
Mm.
for your local community, whatever it is, like we're all here to try and help each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the freedom of it and the
Yeah.
power of it.
Yeah, maybe that's what Noah is for us.
I find him quite chill at the moment, most days.
Chill.
Chill, like,
Chill.
no, he's not chill.
No.
I find him
Ah.
chill.
Yeah.
But he's also not sucking on my breast,
Mm.
every
All the
45
time.
minutes to an hour.
All the
So
time.
there is
Yes.
that. All right. How have our emotions impacted our relationship? That's a good question. Or you know what? You can choose these three. Here we go. There's that one. Or what have we had to learn about each other emotionally? Or how do we support each other in difficult moments? Which one do you want to go for?
I'd say the last two kind of link in with each other.
What have we had to learn about each other emotionally, and then how do we support each other?
Yeah. So like I
Go on then. What have you learned about me emotionally, and how do you support me within that?
I've learned how to speak to you when you're feeling like when you're very in your feelings,
Mm.
because you don't you don't like
Spit it out.
I can't just come at you and be like stop it, because
Yeah.
you'll be like no.
Yeah.
Like I have to be really delicate with like how I say things and how I am, and like you need to know that I'm not belittling you, that like I respect what you're saying and how you're feeling, and that I'm just wanting to help you transform it.
Yeah.
And like that needs to come across when I'm talking to you, because like it's been trial and error. Sometimes I've been like, can you just stop it? And it doesn't go down very well,
Yeah.
which is fair, like totally acceptable. And so yeah, I've just understood like how you need me to show up for you. And I think it is based on wounds of like childhood and past relationships
Yeah, of
of
course.
where people haven't showed up for you in the past. Um, but you need like logic almost of like what you're actually like you need me to help you see what you're experiencing, where it's coming from,
Yes.
how it's getting in our way, so
Yes.
that you then know, okay, I'm going to go and deal with this now because this is what's happening for
That
us.
is the most helpful thing you do for me when it
Yeah.
comes to like helping me navigate some of my emotions is yeah, you do. You pull it back. You're able to kind of you start off with something real soft of like,
Mm.
hey, like, you feeling you like, I've just noticed something's going on for you or whatever it is. You're right,
Yeah.
little man. Oh, you look knackered, mate.
He's grumpy and teething and tired and
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Come on, bud, get it. Anyway, yeah, it's something that I really value in our relationship is you kind of like softly approach
Mm.
if you're in a space to do that.
Yes.
and then and then you're very good because the thing that no man I think really wants no man wants to let his family down.
Yeah.
Like in any way, shape, or form. You don't want to let your partner down, you don't let your boys down. And sometimes if you get too emotionally involved with whatever's going on,
Mm.
and you start to like, I think for me, I check out.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah,
like
you disappear.
dissociate a little
Yeah.
bit, or like I just go in myself a little bit, and
Mm.
so it's a bit like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
And some of the best things I think I've heard from you is when you're like, "Hey, like we need you,"
Yeah. Or like I
because
need
like
you.
men love to be needed.
Yeah.
We love to be needed, and so to know that I'm needed is like, right, I've got to get rid of this because someone needs me. And who
Mm.
is it that needs me? It's my wife and kids.
Mm.
I love them to bits. So
Yeah.
like they're the only people that can say this and they get me.
Yeah.
And it's like, and yeah, it's pulled me out so many times.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then we're able to discuss what's going on because
Yeah.
you're able to like pull yourself out of it and see it for what it is and what's
Yeah.
actually
And it's
happening.
valuable because it does help me transform it
Mm.
massively because I go, I don't want to do this again.
Mm.
Straight away I'm like, no, okay, like that's fine to happen once.
Yeah.
If it happens twice, that's a pattern,
Yeah.
which means I'm still not doing something with it. And if it's the
Yeah.
third thing, that's behavior and that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of always been my rule with healing
Yeah.
is like once is fine.
Yeah.
Like everyone can be forgiven once. If something comes up and you don't do anything with it, it's once.
Yeah.
Twice is a pattern. Three, if we've got to have the conversation a third time,
Yeah.
this is
too much.
behavior,
Yeah.
and I know far too well it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So it's like that's it for me.
But I think like men do need softness from their wives. Like I think like that softness is what we need to give you. But like if we're stuck in our masculine, like
Yep.
hustling, working 9 to 5, like
That's
trying to live in a man's world, we come across masculine.
that's what used to trigger me and would trigger me if you talked about when you said like how you approach me with softness
Mm.
and you need to know that like you're not judging me or something like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely the wound is that
Yeah.
from an overly masculine mother from being like a single
Single
mum,
mum. Yeah.
it was always like, why are you feeling like this?
Yeah.
Like you can't be feeling like this. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
like you're not valid.
Yeah.
So the way you do approach where it's like, hey, like you feeling something? Like, yeah, valid. That you
Yeah.
always say to me, super valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with you. I would be feeling exactly the same way.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh. And it just lifts the barrier
Yeah.
for you to be like, all right, and now it stops. And I'm like, okay.
And I think it's interesting, obviously, because I was a single mum before we got together. Like, I think I triggered the wound in you so much when we first got together because I did have single mum behaviors.
But
and I think over time they've changed.
because what you would show me is that like, so what you would do is you would trigger the wound and then you would show up different. And it would soothe my heart
Yeah.
like you wouldn't know because you would set me up to expect you to behave in a certain way
Yeah.
and then you would show me love, you would show me compassion and care and like softness and time,
Yeah.
and you would invite me to be absolutely okay in whatever emotion I was in a split second. It was wild. Yeah, like you massively transformed my own, and it's talks about the neuroplasticity of the brain. My brain was looking,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm feeling an emotion again. It's triggering someone else. So my brain jumps to what I expect to happen next based off previous experiences. And again, this is why we get looped into arguments with spouses where you don't need to be arguing about the same things over and over again,
Yeah.
because it points to is that there is a physiological component that you are not transforming or alchemizing in your body.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, same question for you, like out of the
I
three.
think we've already kind of
Choose.
explained how I deal with you and your
How I
emotions
deal with you.
this morning. This morning? Yeah, from this
Yeah, this morning.
morning's.
What
Yeah,
was the first question?
it is what have we had to learn about each other emotionally? So, do you remember? You know what? You're gonna like this. Do you remember for a long period of time in our like yeah when we first got together, something would have maybe like maybe a conversation would have happened between like you know I'd say like an ex family member for you
Yeah.
that would have been that I thought was pretty upsetting,
Yeah.
and I'd have been like, oof, like that was rough.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh well. And I was like, oh wow. Well, Beth doesn't feel anything, does she? So like we started there
Yeah.
with you. Like you wouldn't express an emotion at all.
Yeah.
And so I probably like everything's changed from that point to now because you're way more able to express your emotions and you're
Yeah.
way more curious about your emotions now.
Yeah.
But like yeah,
I had
when we
to like
first got together,
practice.
like you were so like wall up,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you thought it was weakness or it was more. I think it was more like you didn't want to get any more hurt than you were.
Yeah. And it was also like I didn't have time. I was a single mum. I was
Yeah,
like I don't have time to feel upset about my
yeah,
situation. Like I got someone to keep alive. I got shit to do.
yeah.
Like
So
and
so I think to answer the question, like what did I learn? I learned that I needed to provide enough safety for you to feel okay to slow down.
hmm yeah, massively.
That was
And
probably
to
the
feel my
biggest thing.
feelings.
Well, you can't feel your feelings if you haven't got time.
Yeah.
And why don't you
Safety.
have time? Because you don't feel safe to have any more time other than for the things that you think of providing you safety, which is work and I don't know anything else.
Just like being
Food
busy, like
shopping,
chores
yeah,
and
like
like
just constant
nonsense. Yeah.
constant work. So it was like, okay, I've got to get you to a place where you can actually just have some you time
Mm,
and feel safe enough to have that.
yeah.
That was kind of the big thing. And
But
as we
like,
worked on that,
mm,
I remember even Saturdays used to trigger you a little bit, didn't they?
yeah.
Even to probably like close to recently,
Yeah.
because like Saturdays for us is we take the boys swimming. They have a lesson each, and there's a big gap in between. So we either get a sunbed or a coffee or both
Yeah, it's
sometimes or
wonderful.
whatever we do. It's a great Saturday. And then other than that, it's at home with the kids doing stuff. Like we're just having fun and a real slow day.
Mm,
Whereas you always used to work Saturdays,
yeah.
and your mum worked Saturdays, so
Yeah.
you've only ever known Saturdays to be really busy,
Yeah.
and like that's just not my life. I'm like, nah, like
No, it's slow.
especially now we're on a Sabbath, and it's like, hey, like
Yeah.
we work hard in the week so that we have a great restful day with
Yeah.
the boys. Like that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, like when it was too calm, it used to stress me out.
Yeah,
Like I'd be like, "What is going on right now? Like nothing's happening. I'm bored. Like I need to search for things. Like
I was like,
I'm not
I was like,
okay."
what is wrong with you? This is amazing.
Yeah,
Have you ever been able to think?
yeah,
And you're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's this great thing where like you just be, and, and everything in your life gets better from it.
I remember practicing like feeling my emotions with you
Yep.
and like
You.
talking about my feelings. I remember being like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I feel right now."
This is how it would happen as well. By the way, this is exactly how you
Yeah.
would do it. Go, keep going.
Yeah, that was it. Like, I think, and it wouldn't even have to be situations with us. It could be about anything.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, so this is like, I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling, and I'd be like, this makes me feel like this,
Yeah.
and now I'm like this, and I'd be like, that's it.
And then right, and then one tear would pour from Beth's eyes, and she would go, "Look, I'm even crying," and I would go, "Yes, Beth, one tear, good job."
And that was it. We were done.
That is where Beth started with
Yeah.
emotions with me, and now you're so yeah, like you're wild now. You're able to just fully let go,
Yeah, it's really
and
nice.
like I love that about you. I absolutely do. Like anyone who's like, oh, you know what, like when you see like I feel like there's a difference as well. You know, like we drove past a couple today, and I was like, oh, it looks like she's really giving it to him, but he just looked like he wasn't asked. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think that's a good thing. But like, I think if you see a couple and she's like wildly expressing herself to the point you think she is crazy,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's love
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. And he's
That's
probably loving it.
that's what you want, guys.
Yeah.
You want, honestly, like I would describe you as a Latina woman. Okay. Now, I can say that I used to have a Latina friend, and she would say it all the time, like, you want a Latina woman in your life, okay? This is someone who like freely expresses all of their emotions, and there is no lads. If you've ever seen the Hot Crazy scale, yeah, they score high on both. All right, that's what you are. I'm sorry, you are. You're high on both, and I
That's
love
okay.
every
I'm
minute of
okay
it
with that.
because you don't hide who you are. You don't hide how you feel. You
Mm.
express it to me fully, and I know where I stand because of it
Yeah.
all the time. I
Yeah.
don't have to guess.
Yeah.
I don't have to ask you that stupid question that every guy hates asking their partner. You all right?
Yeah.
You okay? And they go, I'm fine. And you're like, that's going to be a conversation 3 hours later.
Yeah.
It's like, that ain't happening with us.
Yeah.
Because the only time you've ever, I think you've done that with me once.
Yeah, I think it was once. And
And
you were
I,
like, no.
and I just went, I was like, oh, okay. Well, just so you know, we're not speaking about that again, ever. And you went, because you were like, because I know you don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not delaying this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
needs
waiting
to
for you to
happen.
tell me that you're having a bad day 3 hours from now.
Yeah.
We're gonna deal with this now.
Yeah.
And so I love that about us. Like
Like one of
we
my
just get it
favorite
done.
things now, I always think is that like when things are happening in my brain, I just tell you. I've never
Yeah.
had that before. I've never been like, oh, this is happening in my brain and it sucks right now. And then, but just even by saying it out loud to you makes me feel better about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool to just express what's going on,
Yeah.
like constantly.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing to kind of round up that question, the biggest thing I've learned, because I think I've only been able to learn more recently from you because you had to heal a little bit about
Mhm.
sharing your emotions first.
Yeah, massively.
I would say that like I'm just learning to really be calm in your storm.
Yeah, that's so
Like I can
beneficial.
so do that for you, and
Yeah.
I'm getting so much better at doing it for Theo as well. Like
Mm.
getting him to hit his pillow the other day when he was angry.
Yeah.
Like I literally saw the energy go out of him.
Yeah.
Like it went into his pillow, and the look on his face, it was so cool. He looked at me. So like basically, Theo was having a bit of a tantrum. It was no, that was the other night, wasn't it? When you just came downstairs, you were like, "Oh, Dad, he needs you."
Yeah.
I went upstairs and he was having a full meltdown.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, I'm done here.
I was like, what do I do with this? I wasn't even involved. What happened? Like, and he refused to hit his pillow that night because I think because I wasn't involved in it. He was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't need that, and then we ended up hugging. But the first time that he had a tantrum where I was like, I'm gonna have to like help him do something with this because didn't know
Yeah,
what
you
he
can
was
get
so
to-
wild.
Yeah.
And I was trying everything, and then I just suddenly was like, hit this pillow, and he just did it, and the look of joy
Yeah, he loved
that
it.
came from his face straight away when he was not a second ago seething with anger, and then we just kept doing it, and then it became a game, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we alchemized it, we transformed that emotion. That ain't in his body. That's ace. We're great. We came downstairs within, I think he had time for like a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorted,
It was super
done.
quick,
It was so quick. It was amazing. So yeah, I think learning to just like be calm in your storm is helping me be calm in his storm. And again, when Noah gets there, like
Yeah.
it's just he might be very different. It could be the same thing, but
It's so helpful. Like
Yeah.
it's so helpful. I've only ever had partners that fire back. I've only ever had like it just is an argument, or like if I'm expressing, they're expressing. Like
yeah,
you just being calm, like listening, and just being like you're valid, but just like breathe.
I'm always in agreement. I'm always like,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise, I
I'm-
think I'd be like,
and I'm
smack
just-
you.
And what I'm doing is I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Like I'm genuinely just like, and it's like I'm listening to what you're. It's funny. I don't really listen to what you say. I listen to how you express it. Like I watch your body. Like I watch how your body is tightening up. I watch where it's getting tense, where it's not, where it's soft, and I can see. And I think that's probably like the key thing for guys who maybe struggle with their partners when they're in their storm, is it'd be like, yeah, like we'll look to their body. what's their body doing? Like they might be hurling abuse at you, but
Mm.
what's their body doing? Because if their body's all uptight, it's like, hey, nothing they're saying right now is important or valid to you.
Yeah.
If they're soft and open and like now you've got truth,
Yeah.
like the body isn't going to be fighting if it's delivering something
Real.
real.
Yeah.
But if it's uptight and rigid and
It's holding back.
it's like, hey, that's not expression. That's like they're resisting their own emotion that's coming up for them,
Mm.
and they're not able to express it. So you've got to pull them into a soft place where they can
Yeah.
you can calm that storm and start having a conversation from that place.
Mm.
And that's something that I think that we do really well for each other. I think we do that really well.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Is there anything you want to add?
I don't know.
I think we want to pull on. We've kind of spent a lot of time on people who suppress emotions. We haven't really spent a lot of time on people who are like consumed by them. So
Yeah.
we should look at real quick, like how do you stop emotions from distorting your thinking? How do you know if it's okay to act upon an emotion and when not to? Do you know what I mean? Like what's the
Yeah.
balance
I
there?
think, well, we were talking about time today, and I think that's really always going to be beneficial. Like, just taking time to think, time to breathe, time to process. And, like, if you then still come up with with the same answer, like a few hours later or a few days later, then
Yeah.
you're not acting out of emotion. Like, you've got more time to think. But if it's just, yeah, straight away and you've not processed, then that's just your emotions leading your life, I'd say. But I'd always say like I made dangerous decisions for myself as like a teenager and in my early 20s. Like I wasn't very good at keeping myself safe, and I do think that was like emotion led,
Mm.
more of like I'm craving feeling good because I feel bad, and so that's
Yeah.
dictating my actions now, rather than like what's safe, what's good for me, like any of those things. It's just
Mm.
like I feel bad, I want to feel good. Let me find something that will help me do that, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's probably a good example of how your emotions can like ruin
They can
your
just yeah,
life
they
if
can
you're like if
absolutely
they're like
distort your thinking.
leading what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like I don't know, would you say that you've done that? Like, is that something
Yeah,
that?
I mean, yeah, again, probably like early teenage years,
Mm,
and then into early adulthood, like it kind of changed. I think I was very emotional as a 11, 12.
mm,
All from 4 to 11 and 12, like we were in and out of different abusive households. We obviously had grief with like losing my dad. We also moved away, to a different
mm,
city away from family. So like there was no safety in my
yeah,
childhood at all, and I just I couldn't cope with everything I felt.
yeah,
Like I felt so much that I did go and numb. So like I was drinking from like 12, 13 years old. Like
yeah,
I that's what I did with I found friends that would kind of do the same sort of thing, had the
mm,
same similar setups, and we would drink every weekend, and which didn't seem like a big thing at the time, and then like as you age you kind of go, oh gosh, I
yeah.
was so like that was really young.
And you see how your friends can keep you where you are. Like,
Yeah.
if no one around you's healing, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be healing.
And then I kind of went the opposite way after a few years of doing that, and yeah, like I'd go and get lost by myself, and
Mm.
I'd go AWOL for like a day or two. My mum would go mad and not know where I am and stuff, and
I'd lose my
but it was just
mind.
like I need to I can't. I needed to numb. I needed to not be around her,
Yeah.
the households,
Yeah.
and I needed an escape. Like I was always looking to escape.
Mm.
I think I was
Yeah.
like 7, and my nan gave my sister and I a key,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Come on, Kate, let's go." In my
Mm.
like, I always just looked for to get out and to kind of
Yeah.
numb. So yeah, I did lots of dangerous things that way, and it kind of followed me into adulthood because I started to get that kind of like, all right, no one's gonna come and help me, no one's gonna come to get me,
Yeah.
so I've never had a safe masculine presence.
Mm.
Never going to get one. I'm going to pursue joining the Marines. Why?
Yeah.
I think I'll be useful.
Yeah.
Like, I had no empathy for people. I
Yeah.
was very, like,
And you didn't care about your
bruised, and
life.
yeah, I didn't care about my life. Like, I wanted to die. Like, that was 100%. Like, I think 18, 19, I was in America. Yeah, thought about ending it all.
Yeah.
Went down that route. Like, I did all that. So
Mm.
yeah, my emotions like absolutely like destroyed the way I thought,
Mm.
um, and led me to taking actions that weren't good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and some were, this is where I really think God had his hand in my life without me
Yeah.
knowing it. Is I wanted to pursue the Marines because I thought, well, one, I'd be useful, but two, I could also die, so that's quite good. Like that's literally
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
think. I'd be like, well, that's quite good. Then it would all end, and God was like, well, you're gonna have to be pretty in shape to do that, so go and do MMA.
Mm.
And that was really good for me
Yeah.
because it taught me discipline,
Yeah.
and I got introduced to a bunch of safe men
Yeah.
who like were controlled with their aggression, and I learned how
Mm.
to control my aggression, and that was such a useful skill in that part of my life, and it changed the trajectory of my life.
Mm.
I found CrossFit through that, so I started to find better things as well, and I think that was
Mm.
really down to God. For the people who are like, well, I never got that saving grace. Like, yeah, God's got His hand in everyone's life.
Yeah.
You just have to look. I didn't know that at the time. I look back at it now and I go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
He had His hand on my life.
Yeah, I
But
think like my acupuncture degree kept me safe.
mm,
I wasn't in a normal uni with other normal uni students because like otherwise I would have drank, I would have done freshers, I'd have done all that nonsense. But I was with people in their like 40s who
yeah,
this was like their second career and like they were calm, they were grounded, like they had life
you
wisdom,
had to
like
embody a little bit more of what they were showing you just to kind
yeah,
of fit in and go under the
yeah.
radar a
So
little
like
bit.
I didn't like I still made dangerous decisions, but like
Yeah,
I think they were massively minimized by the degree I was doing.
yeah. How has your relationship with God changed how you handle emotions?
That's a good question. It's
It's a good
amazing.
one to kind of like. I think we'll end it out here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing because like we notice like if I'm reading the Bible every day, I'm so much calmer in every aspect. Like my ability to deal with the kids, my
I'm assuming you hadn't read it this morning then.
no, I haven't read it today.
There you go. I knew it. That's so funny.
um, but when I make time for it, and when I read the Bible every single
Yeah.
day, like I'm so much calmer. I'm so much more able to think rationally and calmly and not see the world as like it's happening to me. Like
Yeah.
it's just happening. Like and like again, like the more I'm talking to God, the more I'm praying or talking out loud to God during my day or bringing Him into my decisions, like the calmer I am, the more rational. Like I don't make quick decisions out of like anger. I'm much slower and I'm more calculated and not calculated in a nasty way, just calculated in like a what is the best outcome
Yeah.
for me and my family in this situation and like because like what I say now could impact them and I don't want that.
Hmm.
And it just and I also like it's made me so much more like empathetic and kind. Like I think about other people's emotions so much more
Mm.
and how it's impacting them. And even if they've done like a horrible thing to me, I've started being like, but I can see why. Like I can see their childhood, I can see their patterns, their
Hmm.
traumas. I can see why I'm triggering them so much right
Yeah.
now that they hate me in this moment.
Yeah.
And like it's like not our fault. Like it's just happening because it's happening. And so yeah, like the empathy, the calmness, the rationality, and the feeling of like presence and safety from having God in my life and feeling protected makes me move through the world so much better.
Yeah.
I think it's better for everybody. Like
100%.
you, the boys, like
Yeah. Yeah. We
everyone.
noticed the energy shift in the
And I
house,
didn't
like
read the Bible
when
today.
things are good. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd say the same though. Like, I think what's changed for me is I see handling emotions as not something that you need to hide anymore. So
Mm,
like I always used to think that was something I had to, like keep on the down low. No, if everyone knew I was thinking this, this wouldn't be
they
good,
think
and
that's weird.
and you end up kind of like then stuck in yourself, just constantly navigating your emotions. Being with God's taught me more like, hey, like take every single thought captive,
Mm,
so that you can what, so that you can decide if it is for you or not.
yeah.
And that has been liberating for
Mm,
me in my head because I would always get looped into depression and
mm,
into sadness and into like, you see how this is going to be exactly the same as it was before, with whatever's going on, like no matter
mm,
what, that would be what my brain would want to loop me into.
yeah.
Whereas like everything in the Bible and what God's kind of taught us and what Holy Spirit, like I've had actual counsel from the Holy Spirit, you know, and that's like the biggest thing is, and I never believed it until I experienced it, but like the Holy Spirit is like the world's best counselor. Like you don't need therapy.
Yeah.
You need to invite Holy Spirit into the parts of your life, well, all of your life, to be honest, but you need to specifically ask, hey, can you counsel me through maybe some of these things that I'm trying to process from my past or whatever's going on in the moment. And like, he will. Like the Holy Spirit has that ability to bring that waveform up so that you can express it.
Yeah.
Like he can, like it can just do that for you. It's why, like, I've experienced it. And so it's taught me to really take a hold of my emotions and see them from maybe a different perspective so that I can make a better judgment.
Yeah.
The spiritual community will call that your higher self. I would just call it's Holy Spirit and it's me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so, yeah, it's helped me just become, honestly, like a whole new person, I would say. I'm a completely different person to who I've been in the past. And like...
People wouldn't recognise me now.
Well, we know they wouldn't.
Yes.
Because someone literally said it to you.
Lived
I don't recognise you now. It's like, yeah, and I'm the same. People wouldn't recognise me from my past as well. And it's just like...
And they try and condemn you from your past.
Everyone tries to bring you back. Like, well, you're not this person anymore. It's like, yeah, and that's available to you too.
Yeah.
By the way. Like,
and I feel better.
And that's the point. But this is why it triggers people so bad. Because they're like, you don't deserve to be like this based off who I knew you to be.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're still you. I'm not still me. Yeah. I'm a different me. And that's available to you. You can become a new you through the same thing we did. And you would love who we are.
If you did it.
And you would love who you are because you can't have compassion for yourself even in this moment and us for our moment.
Yeah.
And that's sad. And I'd love, like, it would be ace to, like...
Say that.
And it's funny because every person we meet from, like, our kind of, like, newfound community, they're so... happy.
Yeah.
Loving, caring,
compassionate.
Humble.
Yeah. Yeah, like my new business mentor, who I just adore her.
Yeah.
I think she's fabulous. And she has... so much like grace and compassion and just like love,
and
like exuding out of her in everything you say to her. Like she always meets you with love. Yeah. It's really lovely.
Everyone always says like, oh, the world should be wish the world was a better place. It's like, yeah, but it starts with you. Like, that's all we decided. Yeah. We didn't decide to make the world a better place. We decided that the way things were going weren't good enough for the way, like how I was showing up for myself and other people in previous seasons. I was like, I'm not happy with how I'm showing up.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the life I have.
Yeah.
I need to change.
Yeah.
So I did.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. So
yeah. If you're just like, oh, I hope the world changes.
Yeah, so I get this outcome. It's like no.
The world is a projection of your inner reality.
Yeah.
It's the inner chaos that you have that is showing up in the outer world. Excuse me.
That reminds me of that thing I always say. It's like you've got until you're 25 to blame your parents for, how they raised you, the habits they taught you, the inner voice they gave you, the trauma, etc. You've got until you're 25 to blame them. And then from 25, you have to be like, right, yes, it's not my fault that these things were given to me, but it is my responsibility to do something with this because it's impacting everybody around me. And like that's not okay. Like it's not okay for that to be happening because of my past.
Yeah.
You're right, Coffee Mickey.
We're gonna have to tie it up because I haven't got much voice left. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
Anything else you want to add? I feel like we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna finish it off with etymology, definitions, references from the Bible.
Do you need me to read anything, or are you okay?
No, just stay there and look as pretty as you do. Etymology of the word emotion originates from the Latin emovere, to shake, stir, or move out. So before 1579, people knew that what you had to do with an emotion would be to shake, to stir, or to move it out of you.
I like that.
Excuse me. The term changed in 1830s to describe inner feelings, effectively acting as an outward emotion of the soul. So, changed in the 1830s to describe what was going on inside you. as an acting outward motion. Mad. So many references from the Bible.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are anxious or overwhelmed, this is why I love this. The Bible has like what to do for each emotion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So if you're anxious or overwhelmed, any ADHD, overly anxious people, here's what it is. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 7. Bring everything to God with thankful prayer. His peace guards heart and mind in Christ. First book of Peter, chapter 5, verse 7. Cast your cares on him because he cares for you. You're not fixing your heart, you're unloading on him. Psalm 55. Some of these I've added, by the way. So, like, the cast your cares of him because he cares of you is the verse. And then I'm just explaining that you're not fixing your heart, you're unloading on him. Psalm 55. He sustains you. You're not meant to carry the weight. So, all of that weight that you're carrying that's making you anxious, overwhelmed, or just, drowning in grief, you can literally cast that to God. You can bring him into it and he will literally take it from you.
Yeah.
Now you know about neuroplasticity of the brain. You will also know that when he does that, it doesn't just go. You've actually got to do some of the work. Sorry.
Yeah, it lifts it up and then out.
He brings it up for you to alchemize. You've got to change your behavior. And then it works. When afraid, do not fear. I will strengthen you. God's presence, not your performance, is the anchor. That's from Isaiah 41. Psalm 23. Even in the darkest valley, he's with you. Comfort over condemnation, obviously. Jesus gives his peace. John 14. When angry, be angry, and yet do not sin. Sin, by the way, is another word for misaligned action.
Yeah.
It's got absolutely nothing to do with shame.
Yeah. Or being like a bad person.
You're not a bad person if you sin.
Yeah.
Sin is what religion uses. This is why etymology of words matters. You got to look to the original meaning of some of these words and the translations.
Yeah.
Sin is misaligned action. And every single person is taking misaligned actions because, I hate to break it to you, you were put in school at 4 years old. You were programmed by people other than your parents. You do not know what it is like to even take aligned action because you probably can't even remember who you are outside of the identity that's been given to you by your parents.
Yeah.
I.e. your first name and your job. It's not who you are. When grieving, blessed are those who mourn. God meets you in his loss, not with lectures, but with comfort. So Matthew 5, this is that line, blessed are those who mourn, is when God is talking to Matthew about how to essentially like navigate finding almost like how to kind of get to God.
Yeah.
Because he's literally saying, hey, if you've ever mourned, if you've ever been a person who suffered grief, hey, like, you're saved.
Yeah.
Because you've suffered grief.
Yeah.
That's why you're saved. Because every action that you took from that place of feeling that grief that was sinful or misaligned because you were in grief, you're forgiven.
Yeah, you're forgiven.
And you're and like it's not you're not forgiven because you're a bad person. Forgiven, again, different word. Forgiven is that like you're innocent. You're and free. You're now free. You're just free of that to do the things that you were put on this planet to do.
Yeah, like your past can't be used against you.
Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful. There's just nothing more beautiful than that. That's just ace. When ashamed or guilty, Romans 8, no condemnation in Christ. Literally, he doesn't condemn you. Hebrews 10:10, 14. By one offering, you've been made holy and perfected forever. So just by you being like, hey, I'm feeling ashamed and guilty of this thing, just by that, by one offering, you've been made holy and perfected forever. When lonely or discouraged, I will never desert you. That's like in the Bible so many times.
Yeah.
Romans 15, the God of hope fills you with joy and peace as you trust him. What's the joy of the Lord?
I knew you were going to say that. As soon as you said joy, I was like, he's going to talk about the joy of the Lord. I just knew it.
What's the joy of the Lord?
I don't know, like, what do you mean, like, context-wise? Like, strength.
Strength.
Yeah.
If you want more joy in your life, it comes from increasing your strength.
Yeah.
Not strength of physicality, but strength of spirit.
Endurance.
If you're
That's it.
strong in spirit,
Mm.
you will have more joy in your life.
Mm.
If you're weak in spirit, don't expect to find much joy in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked starting to like invite the joy of the Lord into things as well when I'm really struggling. You feel the joy of the Lord like tingle through your body. It's amazing.
You ready for this? This is a nice one because it really points to our podcast. This is for when people are feeling numb or spiritually flat. John 15. You already abide in him. This points to that fruit comes from union and not striving for more. So your effort that you're putting into the life you're currently leading, it's irrelevant if you don't have union with God.
Yeah.
And by your union with God, you will be working effortlessly. Life will not feel like you are striving at some point.
No.
It's not an overnight process.
No.
It's because you've also got to, like, you've experienced it, you have to get comfortable with stillness and calmness and slowing down.
Mm.
So if you're working 9 till 5, which is by design, by the way, like, yeah, your nervous system isn't going to have a good time working twice a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to sit well with you. And I get it, you might be thinking, I would love that. If I could earn exactly what I'm earning now and only work 2 days a week, I would love that. Trust me, you wouldn't.
It's wild.
Because what would happen first? The days would be cut first and the pay wouldn't be there and you would panic and you'd go straight back into what you were doing.
Yeah. And we tried to.
Try to what?
I think we tried to go back.
Every time I've tried to hustle since like walking with God.
Yeah.
It's
like, nope.
He's like,
it's
nope.
not going to work.
Nope. He's like, slow down, stop it. And I'm like, okay.
He's like, damn it.
All of our needs have been met every time. Every time.
And like, I always feel like God to me is like wife and mum,